In this video, we're going to take an in-depth look at every single report page. As all told, there are over 50 reports. Since many are the same piece of information, just sliced up differently, it's important to know exactly what each report is showing, and sometimes, just as important, what's not showing. So I'll just apologize up front. This video might be a little bit longer than the others, but I'll try to keep it as succinct as possible. The first page is the cover page. It'll have the date, personal details of the person who the report is being run for, advisor information if being run by a professional user, and if a cover page disclaimer was chosen, that'll be here as well. Next is our disclaimer page, which is not optional. This will be present in every report. The top part is our company disclaimer, and if you're a professional and you've chosen a custom disclaimer, that will be on the bottom half of this page. Next is a summary page. This is a great report, as you can easily see all in one place much of the data that was used to produce the rest of the reports. Next is the income analysis form. The intent of this form is to demonstrate the difference in income between the last month working and the first month in retirement. This is a great quick snapshot of what it'll look like considering all income factors, as well as the many new expenses like survivor benefit, increased Begley rates, and the fact that TSP board could take up to 8 weeks to distribute your funds. Oftentimes this can leave quite an income disparity between the last month of work and the first month in retirement. Having advanced awareness of this can be all the difference between a successful transition into retirement and a very stressful, unsuccessful transition into retirement. The bottom of this page shows the impact of inflation. It's a lot of information here for the end user about inflation, and I think sometimes the power of this message can get lost in the wordiness of this section, so I think it's really important to draw attention to the details of the impact of inflation. The next several reports will have the same piece of information displayed 3 or 4 different ways, both annually and monthly as a grid, and both annually and monthly as a chart. This is the income from government, both annually and monthly. Please remember that if you've chosen a lump sum rollout for the TSP dollars, these 2 columns will be empty. Next, we've got the income from other non-government sources, both annual and monthly, expenses from the government, both annually and monthly, and expenses from outside sources, both annually and monthly. Now we're moving into the I&Es, income and expenses from government sources, both annually and monthly, income and expenses from other sources, both annually and monthly, and it all comes together here on the income and expense from all sources. If you've entered the appropriate data that the software needs to produce a comprehensive report, then what you're looking at here is a very realistic ballpark estimate of what retirement would look like. Again, both annually and monthly. So you've pitted all expenses against all income throughout retirement. This is what it comes down to. Given the information you've provided about the spending and saving trends you're on, can you successfully retire? Another highly utilized report is the proposed and delayed retirement. This is a 12-year snapshot of what your high 3 and therefore your annuity would look like if you continued to work. So if you looked at these annuity figures for the year that you want to retire and it's just not going to be enough or what you hoped it would be, what would it look like if you continued to work? The next report is the survivor benefit report. You've got a very easy to understand chart showing the annuity, the survivor's annuity, and the accumulated cost of that benefit. This is a very effective report in simple to understand terms. Here you've got the annuity report. These figures are monthly with and without survivor benefit. The next report is the FERS Supplement and Social Security report. If you're entitled to Social Security and/or the supplement, you'll see the supplement indicated here and the Social Security here. On the TSP reports, you'll see the details of your contributions, both current and continuing, and whichever withdrawal method you've chosen. On the next few TSP pages, you'll see more detailed information about the existing savings and the growth of those funds. There are separate report pages for traditional and Roth. The Begley report page is another great, easy to understand report that'll show the benefit versus the accumulated cost of this benefit. Most people don't realize the massive cost of Begley in retirement, and this is a great report page to deliver that information effectively. This next Begley page is a detailed breakdown of the previous form. Probably a little overwhelming for the average person, but for those of you that love detail, this is the form for you. This will give you the bi-weekly, monthly, annual, and accumulated costs for this benefit. Next, on the FEHB report, same thing, biweekly, monthly, annual, and accumulated costs of this benefit. Should you stay on the FEHB program, this most likely will be your largest expense in retirement. As you can see, the accumulated costs for this benefit are devastating. Once you realize these costs, it might be a good time to look into Medicare and/or a Medicare supplement. Here's the long-term care report, and it's pretty self-explanatory. You'll see your daily benefit amount, lifetime benefits, monthly, and annual premium, as well as accumulated cost. This next report is really popular. It shows the cost of the dual life insurances, Begley and survivor benefits, and the accumulated cost of these benefits. Once you see what you're spending for 2 life insurances, it just might be worth looking into some other life insurance alternatives. The next 3 pages are individual report pages for information that is already on the summary page. Here we've got the individual retirement eligibility report, the creditable service report showing how much sick leave you've accumulated and how much time can be added to your annuity. So this can be really valuable, but it's also reflected on the summary page, and the High 3 average page. On the military service report, there's no actual calculation here. This is just for your information. Will you or will you not be charged interest based on whether you have or have not paid the buyback? If you've indicated any deposit, those details will be reflected here, as well as the redeposit. So that's it for the report pages. Altogether, there are more than 50 pages of reports available. More often than not, that's an overwhelming and largely redundant amount of reports to provide to one person. So if you're a financial professional working with federal employees, we highly recommend that you pare it down to what's relevant for each client based on their elections and their specific needs. If you're a federal employee, we sincerely hope that this level of detailed information is of value to you, and we sincerely wish you a happy and successful retirement. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you have further questions on any of the reports, please feel free to contact us through the contact form on our website.